Morning. So today we are going to start a new chapter that is the Faraday's laws of electrolysis. So it is the CBSE 12th class topic, but it is also helpful in the 10th board examination also. And just I will cover the extensively so that it will be helpful for the IIT, medical, and all the equipment class examination it is also applicable. So what is the electrolysis? Electrolysis means the dissociation of electrolyte. Electrolyte means the substance which conduct electricity in a molten or that is called the electrolyte. Which do not conduct it is called the non-electrolyte. So the electrolyte it dissociate and it move towards the two opposite electrode. When electrolyte dissociate, it gives the positive and negative ion. Positive ion moves towards the negative electrode and the negative ion moves to the positive electrode. So this process is called the electrolysis. Then the electrolysis is two types. That is a quantitative electrolysis and the qualitative electrolysis. So during electrolysis, what nature of substance deposited at anode or a cathode, that determination is the qualitative electrolysis. So that depends upon the discharge potential or reduction potential. But another is the quantitative electrolysis. Quantitative electrolysis means the how much quantity means it may be the mass, it may be the moles, it may be the volume. The how much quantity of the substance deposited at anode and cathode is called as the quantitative electrolysis. So today we are going to discuss about the quantitative quantitative electrolysis. The main thing that we will cover that is the completely explained. So the Faraday the two laws. That is the Faraday has given the two laws. One is the Faraday's first law of electrolysis, another one is the Faraday's second law of electrolysis. So the Faraday's two laws are there. One is the first law of electrolysis and another the second law of electrolysis. So first of all, we will discuss the Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Faraday's first law of Faraday's first law of electrolysis. So the Faraday's first law of electrolysis is not the understand. So you know the electrolysis is the dissociation of electrolyte and movement towards the two opposite electrode is called the electrolysis. So then remember this thing the positive is the anode and the negative is the cathode. That is the point. It is CCA types. Cation moves towards cathode and anion moves towards anode. So the at a cathode the reduction takes place at anode oxidation takes place. That to remember this thing that is the term is CRAO. CRO means it is the cathode reduction and oxidation. ACC movement means anion to anode, cation to cathode. PANC means positive anode and negative cathode. GRLO means the gain reduction, loss, oxidation. That is the short term. With this, you can understand the electrolysis. That is the three electrolysis. So the current so during electrolysis, so what is the quantity of substance? So the quantity that determines statement says, what is the statement says? The quantity or the amount of substance deposited at a different electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of electric charge passing through the electrode. Let me a little bit explain that where the electrolyte solution is taken. This is the electrolyte solution. So there is two electrodes that is the metallic plate to in contact with the electrolyte solution. So that is the positive plate and the negative plate, and both the plates are connected to the source of electricity, so that the electricity is passed here. So this is the positive ion and this is negative ion. Positive ion moves towards the this is called the cathode, cation moves towards cathode, and this is the anion that moves towards anode. So this is the understanding. So that means this is the electricity passed through it, so that the dissociation takes place. So statement is the amount substance deposited at different electrodes, the amount of substance deposited at different electrodes proportional to different electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of charge passing through the electrolytic solution. Mathematically, how to do that? W is directly proportional to W is equal to the Z. The formula is the proportionality constant, or is called as the EC of the substance. The substance is deposited, that is electrochemical equivalent of the substance. Electrochemical equivalent of substance. This is not equal to the equivalent mass. EC is something different. That is not called as equivalent. Something different. That will be described later. So this is the statements of the Faraday's law. That is the amount of substance deposited at a different electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of the charge passing through the different electrolytic solution. Different electrolytic solution. The mathematically the W is directly proportional to Q and the W is equal to Z. And Z is the proportionality constant that is called the electrochemical equivalent of the substance. That is called the electrochemical equivalent of the substance. So now we see the mathematically what the relation that we see. Now we understand the W is equal to the Z, but we know the charge flowing through the electricity that is called as the current into time, electric current into time. So the Q is equal to I into T. I is the current of the and the T is the time. So the unit of the charge is coulomb. Unit of the charge is coulomb that is equal to 1 ampere. 1 coulomb that is 1 ampere into 1 second. That is 1 coulomb that is equal to 1 ampere into 1 second. So that is 1 coulomb that is equal to 1 ampere into 1 second. So that is the Faraday's first law of electrolysis. That is 1 coulomb that is equal to 1 ampere into 1 second. So in place of the Q, we can write IT. So the W is equal to ZIT. W is equal to Z. ZIT. So what is the Z? Z is equal to W by Q or Z is equal to W by IT. So what is ZIT? So unit will be gram and it will be coulomb. It will be coulomb per gram. Sorry, gram per coulomb. Or it will be gram per ampere into second. Where ampere into second. That is the unit of, this is the unity of Z. What is the unit of gram per coulomb or gram per ampere into second? Gram per coulomb or gram per ampere into second. So this is the unit of the Z. This is the unit of Z. This is the unity of Z. So now we can see. So what is the definition of Z? So if the Q is equal to 1 coulomb, then W is equal to Z. So if I is equal to 1 ampere and T is equal to 1 second, so then the W is equal to also Z. So that means how to define the Z? The Z that is the EC, electrochemical equivalent of the substance, is defined as the amount of substance liberated if it is when 1 coulomb of a charge passing through it, 1 ampere of current passing for 1 second. So that is called the deposited or liberated of charge. You must that we can determine. That two formula we have. So now so when electric charge is passing, then the Z is equal to of charge passing electrolytic solution. Experimentally, the amount of substance deposited is equal to gram equivalent mass. Means the equivalent mass expressed in gram. You know the equivalent mass of copper equals C. So that is the atomic mass by valence is 2. The equivalent mass of Zn plus 2. That is the atomic mass by 2. The equivalent mass of Al plus 3. That is the atomic mass by 3. Equivalent mass of Na plus. So that is the atomic mass by 1. So this is experimentally it has been found that. So when one part, then what is the current? So you know the charge and the electric charge, like the biggest millifarad. But Faraday is the biggest unit of charge. And 1 Faraday is the charge carried by 1 mole of electron. The charge carried by 1 mole of electron is called as 1 Farad. So 1 electron charge is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. 1 Faraday charge is equal to 1.602 so 1 mole of electron, 1 mole that is equal to 6.023 10 to the power 20. The charge carried by 1 mole of electron, the charge carried by 1 mole of electron. How much? So that will be 1 mole is 6.023 10 to the power 23. And 1 electron carries this much of charge 1.602 10 to the power minus 19. Multiply, it will be 96500. It is actually 484. It is not 500, it is 96484. But we have to consider it is a that is 1 farad. 1 farad is the constant. Charge carried by 1 mole of for your understanding, the 1 Faraday is equal to 9650 coulomb. That is the charge carried by 1 mole of electron. The 1 mole of electron, the 1 electron carries 1.602 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. So 1 mole will carry 96500 coulomb. That is called as the 1 Faraday. So here the statement is what you understand. 1 Faraday of 96500 coulomb electric charge writing solution. Then the amount of substance deposited is equal to the gram equivalent mass means you understand the equivalent mass expression gram. So that is the gram equivalent mass. So the gram equivalent mass means the equivalent mass means the atomic mass. So from this what we understand? From this what we understand? That is the Faraday's law of electrolysis that we will so that means what you understand. So when 1 Faraday charge is passing, then amount of substance deposited is equal to E gram. E gram is gram. So that is passing. Then the amount of substance deposited is E gram. When 1 coulomb is passing, that is E by 96500 gram. But now, just now we have covered 1 coulomb is passing through the electrolytic solution. That is equal to the W is equal to Z. So that means, so just now you see the Z is equal to the W by Q, and when the Q is equal to 1 coulomb, just I have written if it is 1 coulomb, then Z is equal to W. So then when 1 coulomb of passing through the electrolytic solution. So now what we have got the mean. So the Z is equal to E by 96500. This is the formula. Calculate the Z. Or we can write E by F, or the E is equal to the atomic mass by valency into 965. So this way we can calculate the Z. Z we can calculate. Z means the electrochemical equivalent of the substance. That is equal to or equivalent mass or the atomic mass by the valency. This small v which is written, that is the valency. That is the valency of the ion which is deposited. The valency of the ion. A is the atomic mass. A is the atomic mass. E is the equivalent mass. Because the equivalent mass is equal to the atomic mass by valency. That's why I will replace the E by E. That is way we can calculate the EC of the substance. So the for the calculation what is the EC of a copper plus 2. What is the EC of the copper plus 2? So that means the Z of the copper plus 2, Z of the copper plus 2, that is the atomic mass is 63.5 and valence is 29650. So that will be the answer will be the gram per coulomb. That is whatever the value. Suppose any substance, the Z of NF loss. So that is 23, valence is 1 into 96500, that is the gram per coulomb. That will be so now we have got the better elaborated formula for your understanding. That is the W is equal to we have written ZQ, W is equal to we have written ZIT. But now we understand the Z is equal to finally the W is equal to in place of Z you can write AIT by V into 965. So this is the latest formula. So AIT by V into 965. A is the atomic mass, I is the current, this is the formula. A is the atomic mass, just I have written here. E is the valency of the ion, I is the current in ampere, T is the time in second. So this one, current in ampere. So all these values will put. So this is the last formula. On basis of this formula, so many things we have to know, understand. To calculate the Faraday's fast law, you know. So now see, sometimes it will be required. This A by D the equivalent. Sometimes you can write the equivalent mass EIT by 96500. If you want to calculate equivalent, sometimes you calculate the number of moles. The number of moles is the W by E. Mass is the number of moles. The number of moles of the substance deposited that will can A can be taken to be that is equal to IT by E into 965. So the number of moles that we can calculate. Number of atoms sometimes require number of atoms. So that will be IT by V into 96500 into Avogadro's number that is 6.023. So this way the number of atoms deposited you can calculate. This is the number of moles, this is the grams, this is the moles and this is the atoms. This moles atoms will be deposited. This is the in place of this we can write the Avogadro's number that is the Na. So that will be simply the number of atoms we can calculate. So sometimes cubic area. So here the volume is equal to so that let me write this is the breadth and this is the height LBH. The volume is equal to LBH. So the density that is equal to the mass by volume. And the mass is equal to the density into volume. And here the volume is equal to the length breadth into height. So the mass in place of the W, we can write in place of the so the W, in place of the W, we can write the density, length, breadth into height that is equal to AIT by E into 96.5. That is also W. So now you see, so this formula is very much useful. Certain area is electroplated. Certain area is electroplated. Plating is done. So during electroplating, so how much breadth, how much breadth is plated, how much area, how much length is plated, how much height is plated, and what is the volume of the area plated or area that is length into breadth that is equal to area. So how much this is the length into breadth that is equal to area. How much area is plated? That is the maximum density. You can calculate this. So this is a very important formula that we to calculate this thing. You can note down. So now calculate the volume of gas liberated at LTP. If it is not at LTP, then you can use the P1 given by T1, that is the P2 by T2 formula to calculate the can convert it from the one form to another. So that way you can convert the NTP volume. So you can convert the NTP volume. So the volume can be converted from any form to NTP form. Any form to NTP form you can convert. So once the volume is converted, so this formula to be we have to realize the formula, the mass formula that is the E IT by 965. So this is the equivalent mass. So when the this is the mass and this is the mass. So if you change the volume at activity, then you can change it to equivalent. That you can write the volume equivalent by 965. So this is the best method. Directly you can calculate the volume at activity. Best method. So that way you can calculate the volume at NTP. The volume at NTP you can calculate the volume equivalent. The volume equivalent mostly the gases liberated, that is the hydrogen, chlorine, or the oxygen. These are the mostly common gases. In whatever form may be there, this gas is liberated. The volume equivalent of a hydrogen, the volume equivalent of a hydrogen is 11.2 liter or 11200 milliliter at LPG. Or it will be the for the chlorine it is 11.2 liter or 11200 milliliter RT. So for the oxygen, it will be 5.6 liter or 5600 milliliter R. So this is the volume equivalent of hydrogen, volume equivalent of the chlorine, and volume equivalent of the oxygen. That way you can determine the volume equivalent. So this value you can put it here, then you can calculate the volume and ATP you can calculate from this formula. So another formula that will be required for you when you calculate for your understanding. So we know the electrical energy that is equal to the electrical energy is equal to the charge into the potential difference. You know the electrical energy that is equal to the charge into potential difference. Electrical energy that is equal to the charge into potential difference. The charge into potential difference. So the energy, electrical energy, but you know power, electric power. Electric power is the W by T. The power is the what? That is equal to that is EW means this is the energy by the time. So this is the power watt. Electric power means watt. So 1 watt that is equal to 1 joule by the time. So in place of the electrical energy that we can put the watt into time. So what you understand the power. Let me write here. So the electric power into time, that is equal to charge into potential difference. So this charge into potential difference is electrical energy, and electrical energy that is equal to the power into time. So the charge we require. So the charge is equal to electric power into time by the potential difference. So this way, once you calculate the charge, so this charge that is nothing but the Q, and the W is equal to ZQ by ZQ by 96500. So in place of Q, you can put it here. So the W can be calculated. So that means the power, that is how much watt is the 100 watt ball is running there. The watt into Z into watt into time second, that is equal to potential difference that I cannot write V, so that will be confused here. So 965. So that way the W can be calculated. Sometimes the question will be given. So I have covered almost all the theoretical parts. So that means sometimes the question will be given. So 100 watt bulb running for 2 hours. So 100 watt bulbs means the watt is 100 watt that is connected to 240 lines, 240 volt lines. So potential difference is 240. 100 watt bulbs. 100 watt bulbs means that is the 100 watt is time for 2 hours that you can convert to the 60 into 60 that you can convert it to the second. So then 965 you multiply then the W, how much it is in the connection, the series connection will be there. So how much it will be, how much we can, time will be required, how much time will be required to get this one. Okay, this is all about the Faraday's first law of electrolysis. This is most of the theoretical aspects that we have covered. So sometimes in the question asked, so after the electrolysis, after the completion of electrolysis, what is the concentration? That means at that time what you have to do, so you have to calculate how many moles is deposited. Initially how many moles is deposited minus how many moles deposited. The remaining mole is the molarity of the solution which is after the electrolysis. Sometimes it will ask the pH of the solution after the electrolysis. Because that part we can cover in the qualitative electrolysis. Because during the electrolysis after the so what happens after the end of electrolysis? It may convert it to alkaline, it may convert it. Some other substances also produce. The pH may increase or pH may decrease. Maybe the acidic or maybe basic solution may be produced after the electrolysis. So accordingly, the pH, that concentration that you can know. So now we will see the Faraday's second law of electrolysis. So Faraday's second law it is states when the same quantity of electric charge passing through the solution of connected in series, the amount of substance deposited at the different electrode is directly proportional to their gram equivalent. So, so this is the Faraday's second law of electrolysis. This is the Faraday's second law of electrolysis. In Faraday's second law of electrolysis, so in so you see, this is the zinc sulfate. This is the zinc sulfate. The electrode will be there. So that is another solution. That is the silver nitrate solution is there. That is another solution. That is the sulfuric acid will be there. But the condition here is that the same quantity here the same quantity of electric charge connected in series. There is the same charge they are connected in series. So what is the statement? When same quantity of liquid charge passing through different electrolytic solution connected in series, the amount of substance deposited is equal to their gram equivalent mass. Their gram equivalent mass. So the same quantity, the condition the same charge is passing through it. So the W is directly proportional to E. So that means the W1 is directly proportional to E1 and the W2 is directly proportional to the E2. So the W1 by W2 that is equal to E1 by E2. This is the formula number 1. Now you see the W1 by W2 that is E1 by F. F is a constant. That is E2 by F. F is a constant. So the E1 by F is equal to the Z1, E by F is equal to Z, you know. So that is the Z2. So this is the second formula. So that means the W1 by W2 is equal to E1 by E2, that is Z1 by Z2. So this way it is. So this way you can determine the law of electrolysis. So this is the fourth parameter. Mass it is normally it is known. So one W1 will be given to W2 can be calculated. That is not much difficult. That is also related to fast law. On the basis of fast law, you can calculate W2 on the basis of second law. That is not much difficult. So I hope you understand it perfectly. The about the Faraday's law of electrolysis, it will be helpful for your different entrance examination also. I hope that I have covered the theory perfectly so that you can solve any problem. If you come across with any type of questions, you can solve it. I feel don't you will not feel face any problem. First, you have to understand it. If you're not able to understand this video in a one time, so you can cover it two, three times, four times, five times, so that you can understand the concept first. You want to, your concept should be clear, so that you can solve any problem from the Cengage, from the Avasti, you can solve any problem. You will not face any problem related to the Paradise law. So that will also equal helpful for the board examination also. That is very important part. Most of the time, the examination it will also ask in the examination. Okay, thank you. So I hope this will be helpful. We will see in the next video. So I hope you will subscribe the Bariksa's chemistry classes every time I'm telling that. So also you can press the power button so you can get the whatever the any video I upload, you can get the information quickly. So also I'm starting the online classes for the class 11, 12, JMN and advanced for the medical also. So those who are interested, you can join. I have given my phone number in that also. Okay, thank you. We'll meet in next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.